Here are my daily protein recommendations and guidelines. You want to make sure that you get 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. Now, a pound of ground beef is typically anywhere from 100 grams of protein to 115 grams of protein, give or take, depending on how lean you get your meat. I also like to include organs in my daily intake, about 2 ounces of a variety of different organs, such as liver, but I don't go over 5 ounces a week of liver specifically. Liver, kidney, heart, pancreas, thymus. I like to include those in also my protein calculations. If I can't get raw or fresh organs, this is all the protein I eat in a day on one plate. I'm 110 pounds and I want to maintain my body weight and keep my body composition. So I will aim for at least 110 grams of protein. However, for me, I vary in between 115 grams to 125. Now I eat twice a day, and if we were to just focus on my protein intake, I laid it all out on a plate for you of what my daily intake of protein looks like. So for breakfast, something typical will be about 1/2 pound of ground beef, as well as an egg and some fresh organs. And then for dinner, I will also do another 1/2 pound of ground beef. So you can use things such as macro apps to help you track your macronutrients, such as your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. I hope this helps you. Seasonings and spices can worsen autoimmune responses as well as contribute to leaky gut, especially ones that contain pepper in them. So if you are experiencing any burping or bloating or burning skin issues, I would highly recommend avoiding seasonings altogether. Now, I know you all love a good flavor to go with your meat, so I wanted to offer some suggestions. You can use maple syrup, you can use lemon, you can use lime, you can add some Parmesan cheese, great way to season your meats. Also butter, you can squeeze some orange on it, as well as have a banana, a warm banana on the side. You can grill this. It's an amazing addition to your burger, as well as apples. You can grill apples, you can grill pineapples, you can grill peaches. There's avocados that you can use as well. Also my favorites, honey and salt, those are staples. I bring you a quote from my local farmer. Anything other than pasture-raised eggs is probably from birds that spend little, if any, time outside in the sun, meaning they're hormonal. Chickens need the sun, just like we do, and those that are truly pasture-raised are getting at least some percentage of their diet from bugs, seeds, etc., which is important, says farmer from Shirttail Creek, Sam. The more I investigate these sources, the more I'm starting to realize those sold in big-name grocery stores are complete crap. I'm sorry, I know it's convenient, but I feel if we can put forth a little bit more effort, then we can definitely find better. Butter is a great source of fat-soluble vitamins, healthy cholesterol, fatty acids, and antioxidants. Raw milk will have more of the health-promoting nutrients since it is from unpasteurized cow's milk, hopefully those of grass-fed ruminants, while regular butter is pasteurized, a process that involves heating up to a certain temperature that kills off harmful microorganisms. The pasteurization process alters or destroys a number of important nutrients, including enzymes, probiotics, proteins, vitamins, and calcium that are heat sensitive. Now, it's always important to say that make sure you know your farmer and trust their farming practices before purchasing raw butter. If you can't source raw, you can still reap some of the benefits of butter, especially when it comes to weight management. Butter contains stearic acid, which is a crucial fatty acid that turns on mitochondrial fat-burning cells that helps you with weight and energy. You can also make homemade butter using cream. Store-bought milk often comes from sick animals. Dairy farmers opt for pasteurization, eliminating all good and bad bacteria in a desperate attempt to mask unsanitary conditions. Pasteurization is like a lazy Band-Aid for those cutting corners in the dairy industry. On the other hand, raw milk in its most pure and nutritious form is often carefully made by farmers in clean conditions. They keep its nutritional benefits intact, knowing that pasteurization will remove essential elements like enzymes, probiotics, vitamins, and immunoglobulins. Pasteurization is a Band-Aid for sloppy, lazy, and inadequate farming practices. Raw dairy farmers committed to quality refuse to take shortcuts. Responsible and well-maintained practices can effectively minimize the risks that come with raw milk while also preserving the most nutritious food. So to fruit or not to fruit? That is the question I get asked a lot. And guess what? This depends entirely on you. Fruit is bred to be sweet, and there are significant differences between sugar and fruit in its entirety, including honey. By looking at sugar from a reductionism standpoint, I feel we are missing the whole picture. Fruit and honey as a whole food matrix, honey as raw and unfiltered, seem to have a purpose that provides humans with nutritional benefits. Whole foods contain compounds that are information for our bodies. These affect the way that fructose is handled in our physiology. There are many examples of fruit as a whole food matrix having different effect than processed sugars stripped from the food during processing. I believe this to even be the case when we are juicing our fruit. With that said, I would consider your position. Those without pre-existing conditions such as diabetes or pre-diabetics, it's not harmful to try. So I would say, considering your goals and doing it in moderation, the dose is always the poison. Give it a try. Otherwise, if you're doing fine without fruit and honey, stick to it. But those potentially that may be suffering from electrolyte issues, hormonal imbalances, or muscle cramps, or energy, give it a try. Stop drinking water from plastic bottles. It is wreaking havoc on your hormones and your endocrine system. So please, please toss this. And what I do for traveling is I get a gallon stainless steel jug, and the refillable stations, reverse osmosis refillable stations, are found at many grocery stores. So you can just stop and pop in and refill. So love this as an option. I've actually started to use this at home too, because I did have a glass gallon jug and that got super heavy. So this is much lighter transport. I also have a countertop reverse osmosis system at home, but when I'm traveling, these are options for you. Also, when I'm traveling, my second option is glass bottles. This can get really expensive. That's why the stainless steel is my first choice and refillable. However, this is definitely a second option. It is way better of a choice than plastic bottles. Mountain Valley and Boss are my go-to. So stay nourished and plastic free.